Sakamoto might have traded guns for groceries, but beneath that easygoing smile is a power that defies belief. From feats that stun veteran assassins to transformations that leave enemies trembling, we're about to unveil the terrifying truth behind this family man. Trust me, by the end, you'll see why he's not just unstoppable, but why some even call him a kami of killing and isn't human at all. We learn in chapter 48 that Sakamoto, in his fat form, it's a mere 30% in comparison to his prime power level, and it turns out by trying to always revert to his old fighting style, it was holding back the potential he had as a big guy. Plus, there's the fact that he always nerfs himself in every fight because he's placed a mercy rule on himself to honor his wife's wishes, meaning he holds back in all fights. If he unleashed his full killing intent, it would be game over for most opponents. Now, thanks to Granny Mia, his potential within the fat form is awakened. He seemingly gets a strength boost as he holds up the Tokyo Tower on his own. When Takamura cut in half, which mind you, Takamura to cut the Tokyo Tower in half, that requires 27 tons of TNT, which would put these characters at city block level. But Sakamoto, he's over here in his fat form with no issue, holding the skyscraper steady with a rope which is 4,000 tons. This isn't even accounting for his impressive defensive capabilities whilst doing it. His opponent has sharp wires that can cut anyone in multiple pieces within a blink of an eye. A part could cut steel with these wires like butter, but Sakamoto's body is just too strong. This is pretty much confirmed when Kashima said Sakamoto's body is stronger than steel, and he can't keep up with him even though he's scientifically enhanced. I mean, look, the best sniper in the world's bullets, it couldn't even pierce him in chapter 135, as it doesn't even fully get through his arm, and he recovers seemingly instantly in the next chapter. So essentially, our MC has two power modes, fat or slim. In chapter 102, we see Sakamoto in his skinny form managing to rip steel beams out of a wall, and given that he's stronger in his fat form, we haven't even seen the best of his peak. Ripping a steel beam from a wall, that alone requires hundreds of thousands of pounds of force, which explains why he can literally, this panel is ridiculous, like a zombie, he smashes his hand into the floor and grabs someone through concrete like he did against Kobayashi. So in his skinny form, Sakamoto calls it going all out. And you might be thinking, how the hell does this guy even transform to begin with? Well, when fighting for a significant amount of time, Sakamoto burns so many calories that his body reverts back to his original form. Now you're gonna say, that doesn't really make sense. Does that make much sense? No. Do we care? Also no. But with this powerful transformation, there was a moment when Kashima sends Sakamoto into another train. He just runs back at super speed so fast that others around him look like they're standing still, terrifying him. Against Kanaguri, he uses his sensei's signature Aikido and easily beats him, to the point where the guy is in disbelief of how strong Sakamoto truly is. So powerful that his camera can't even follow him and you can't find him on the film lens, right? It's not working. Then against Kindaka, he manages to take a heavy blow and outrun a train to land his own. In his prime, he was known as the greatest hitman and shooter to ever live, and Sakamoto himself stated recently that he isn't close to his prime and needs to get stronger. The database at the jar states that they've never seen a fighter close to Sakamoto. This is despite having an incredible memory that allows him to remember and see over 30,000 assassins in the world and what they have to offer since the foundation of the jar, but he still puts Sakamoto in a league of his own. So why does my man Sakamoto, why does he get so much glazing in the manga? Well, chapter 107 onwards, we start to see what a monster he was. Kindaka was the fastest assassin ever. He was so strong that even when Sakamoto, Naguma, Uzuki, and Nakao, they teamed up, they could barely keep up. Sakamoto was the most impressive as he used his surroundings more than the others, using a large ribbon to send Kindaka flying across the building. So Yeah, it may have been a 4v1, but these teenagers managed to take him down. Then, when being attacked by another assassin, Sakamoto somehow uses a handgun as a blunt object, throwing it hundreds of meters into the sniper's head, killing him instantly. Yeah, you heard that right. He out-sniped the sniper with just a handgun and brute force. Like in chapter 115, bro uses wires from a bridge to control his motorbike mid-air like venom. Shortly after, he faces an assassin and he makes the crucial mistake of angering our MC, which makes Sakamoto dash forward so quickly that the guy didn't see a thing. He then punches him so hard that the assassin feels like he's been hit with an explosion. This is by far the strongest punch we've ever seen in the series. My man needs to register his hands as lethal weapons because they can kill someone with a single touch. Now I need to calm down because we get further proof that Sakamoto was truly the strongest out of the three of them, as Nagumo and Akao are struggling against an assassin who poisoned them, making them die if they move too quickly. So what does Sakamoto do? He grabs the guy by the neck and slowly crushes the life out of him. No attack phases him in the slightest, killing the assassin that almost just killed two S-Class. Now you're probably wondering, wait a second, is he the strongest in the entire manga? Does he ever lose? Well, he does. The first time we see Sakamoto truly outmatched in his true form, the skinny form that is in his prime, was against Takamura. Now whilst Takamura was stronger, Sakamoto did a lot better than Nagumo. He managed to dodge his attacks that were literally shredding buildings like they were made of butter. Even though Sakamoto has been recognized as the world's strongest assassin in his prime, Takamura has grown exponentially stronger since those days, matching and arguably surpassing Sakamoto's legendary prime power level. Now what makes this fight so memorable is that Sakamoto actually manages to keep up, but as the battle goes on, it becomes clear that Takamoto's power is on another level entirely. However, that isn't to say Sakamoto is weak, rather Takamura has ascended to a plane where no ordinary assassin, even a prime Sakamoto, can reliably stand toe-to-toe with him. It ultimately takes an incredible trick by Uzuki to catch Takamura off guard, and even that succeeds more by luck and surprise rather than raw power. So Takamura is someone no one in the series can truly surpass right now. However, there's another fight that makes things crazy interesting. Uzuki and Sakamoto, they're throwing hands, and you expect this to be difficult. Well, not really. When Uzuki uses his metal chains against Sakamoto, he simply Uno reverses it. Sakamoto basically uses substitution jutsu with his jacket, keeping his arm inside to catch Uzuki's weapon. And so, in classic Sakamoto form, he uses his enemy's own weapons against them, wrapping the chain around Uzuki and throwing him through multiple concrete pillars. Now, despite Uzuki seemingly dealing some amount of damage, Sakamoto really didn't seem to struggle here and won, which tells us that this dude is definitely you shouldn't mess with, even if you think he's weaker than you, because he's still gonna get the dub. Now, to enjoy more peak fiction, watch this video about the Order where we break down the entire organization regarding their members.